Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guardians of all ages. Let me start by asking you, do you like my fit? I got it from Eververse from this little bright dust horde behind me. Let's get into it. So, let me just start by saying this isn't going to be a nice video. This isn't going to be one of those videos where I compare Destiny with Warframe or a video where I talk about all the things Destiny does right. Today, we're talking about Destiny's microtransactions and the monetization of the game. And so we're not going to be really nice today. We're going to say a lot of mean things. So if you're one of those faint of heart type players, this would probably be a good time to check out of the video. Now look, Destiny 2 has become almost entirely pay to win. And it's always been a little pay to win ever since the implementation of the season pass. But the thing is, a lot of people weren't complaining about it back then. We kind of had the wait and see mentality. Now you're starting to see big YouTubers in the Destiny community speaking up on how pay to win the game has become. YouTubers such as Astacross, one of Bungie's golden boys, he put out a video expressing his concerns over the microtransactions in the direction of the game. And you can bet your ass that when Bungie's golden boys start putting out content detailing how pay to win the game has become, Bungie absolutely takes notice. Now, I've seen some people online making the argument that why would Bungie be making Destiny more pay to win? Didn't Bungie just get $3.5 billion from Sony? And yeah, you would be correct. They did get acquired by Sony for $3.5 billion. And that's billion with a B, son. But the thing is, Sony didn't just give them that money to retain the talent. Sony gave them that money hoping to recoup a lot of that money later. So now that Sony owns Bungie, one would have to assume that Sony gets a cut of just about everything Bungie does. So, what's the natural solution when you have to pay back your drug dealer? You raise the prices on the already existing product in order to keep revenue high. Now, how is Bungie keeping revenue high? Well, they started by sunsetting a bunch of gear. That way they can reskin it and sell it back to you in later expansions. But the thing is, that wasn't subtle enough for them. So they said they wouldn't be sunsetting any more gear, and they don't have to at this point. And so at this point, they implement the season pass. Season pass, battle pass, it's the same shit. You know what I mean? And when they first implement the battle pass, it costs 10 bucks. But they subtly raised the price from 1,000 silver to 1,200 silver. And if you look at the $10 silver bundle, you'll see that the actual $10 bundle only gives you 1,100 silver. So in order to make that 1,200 silver purchase, you would have to buy the $15 silver bundle. And the thing is, a lot of platforms don't even have the $15 option, apparently. I didn't even know that until Aztec pointed it out. So depending on what platform you're on, you're paying anywhere between $15 to $20 for the season pass. And then on top of that, if we take a look at the season pass, what's the first thing you get upon paying for the season pass? You get a fucking exotic weapon that is exclusive to the season pass. And usually these exotic weapons are pretty good because they have to be pretty good because it's a little bit of pay to win. Then on top of that, as you make your way down the season pass, you're literally collecting boosters on boosters on boosters. And furthermore, once you make your way down the season pass, there's literally armor available, there's weapons available, and there's exotic engrams, multiple exotic engrams. You have upgrade modules, which everyone seems to overlook because the thing is, if you're gonna infuse your gear, which everybody is, you're gonna need a fuck ton of these. You also have ascendant material on top of all that. And then the kicker is we're at the point now to where you can just buy your way up the battle pass day one. And it wasn't always like that. It used to be you could only buy your way up the battle pass the last 4 weeks of the season as a quote unquote catch up mechanic. But slowly but surely, Bungie kept moving that time frame back more and more to the point where now you can just immediately buy your way up the battle pass day one. And I didn't realize something until someone pointed this out, but I remember when they added the $100 silver purchase option on Steam. But I didn't pay it no mind. It's just normal Destiny news. It's not really what I'm looking out for. Looking out for like weapon buffs and nerfs and shit. But I remember when they added that, right? What I didn't realize is them adding that $100 silver purchase option to Steam actually coincides with Bungie giving players the ability to start buying their way up the battle pass day one. So Bungie's not stupid. They know what they're doing. Bungie's playing three-dimensional chess here. And the argument that some Destiny defenders will make is, hey, I understand that you can buy your way up the battle pass now, but that's not too surprising because that's actually in line with a lot of other games that feature a battle pass / season pass type system. And the thing is, you would be correct, right? But other games aren't charging you $60 for the base game plus $50 per expansion plus $20 per dungeon key. That's literally where we're at this point. They're charging $20 for dungeon keys. That's crazy. And I remember a while ago, right? I was planning on doing the dungeon and I was watching a tutorial. I believe it was for the duality dungeon, right? And so I watched this whole ass 30-minute tutorial and I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be hard. I'm getting myself hyped up for it and I'm looking for who can I have do the dungeon with me. And it turns out I don't even own the damn dungeon. So I done sat here for 30 minutes of my life watching a fucking video about a dungeon that I don't even own. I felt fucking stupid. I remember seeing someone using the Ias Luna and I was thinking to myself like, hey, that's a nice little piece of nostalgia. I want to see how that performs in Destiny 2, only to realize it was locked behind the dungeon. But the thing is, I don't think the dungeon it's locked behind is a paid dungeon. I believe that dungeon is free, but that's where we're at. The game has become so fragmented and so confusing that I'm not even sure what the fuck is available to me for free anymore or what the fuck I've already paid for. Now, I remember during the Witch Queen, Bungie added weapon crafting. Now, I didn't engage with it that much back then because I thought the system was super underbaked and it came across as super tedious. But in Season 21, Bungie added Deep Sight activation. And Deep Sight activation allowed players to choose an eligible weapon that they wish to extract a pattern from and apply the Deep Sight Harmonizer material to it. Once Deep Sight Harmonizer is applied to the eligible weapon, the weapon pattern can be extracted. But Bungie did an about face and they stated that the Deep Sight Harmonizer currency can only be obtained from the season pass rank rewards, and there's only 3 available for free as well as 3 available in the paid tier for a total of 6. And let's be honest here, this system is a little pay to win because buying Deep Sight is a thing, and when you buy Deep Sight, you instantly have enough to craft whatever you would like. And like I said earlier, I wouldn't engage with the crafting system too much because I feel like it kind of took away the mystique of hunting for random rolls, hunting for that god roll. But I was still going to engage in the system eventually. And once Aztec was talking about this, I noticed something, right? I noticed that I have about 30 hours played this season, and I haven't gotten one deep sight gun to drop this season. And to be honest, I do play mostly Crucible and Gambit, but I sure as hell didn't play no 30 hours of Crucible and Gambit this season, and I haven't gotten one deep sight gun to drop. So once I realized this, I did a little bit of digging, and what I discovered was if you didn't buy the Lightfall campaign, your deep sight weapon drops would be few and far between. And the way somebody on Reddit explained it to me is if you do not own Lightfall or any other seasons for this year, then yes, you would not see deep sight weapons dropping. There is a low chance of some of last year's weapons that are in the world loot pool possibly dropping with deep sight, but it would be an extremely low chance. And it's just another bullshit way of Bungie walling off content you already paid for, and they don't even have to elaborate on it, right? Because of course the majority of the player base bought the season pass as well as the new expansion. And if I don't want to give Bungie any more money and I didn't buy that, hey, that's on me, right? I'm not necessarily mad about it at all, right? I just didn't know what the fuck was going on, which seems to be a common theme with Bungie's monetization nowadays, which is confusing the player. And I remember when Age of Triumph came out, I was almost completely done with Destiny's bullshit at that point. But the thing about Age of Triumph is I saw that this was all of the content. This was the Bungie Ultimate Edition, basically. This came with everything. So I knew exactly what I was buying. And I was so happy with my purchase. And one thing you'll notice in Destiny 2 is there's not a ultimate bundle or a Destiny Big Dick Edition that gives you all of the content up until this point, because Bungie makes more money by fragmenting the expansions and forcing players to try to figure out what they need to be buying. And look, you have all these expansions for sale in the market, and they still have the Forsaken expansion for sale. And what I'm wondering is, does this even come with the campaign? Like, for real, like, bruh, does this Forsaken expansion even come with the campaign? Because if this doesn't come with a Forsaken campaign, you guys are shady as fuck and you guys know it. Since I didn't buy the expansion or the season pass, the only thing I've seen dropping is the same old reskinned weapons. Like, I don't even bother collecting the Ingrams from the Crucible anymore because it seems to be the same old bullshit. I got about like 25 Crucible Ingrams just sitting there. And then on top of that, I will, like, for the Crucible rewards this season, I've gotten like a Randy's throwing knife after every match. I've literally gotten like 50 Randy's throwing knives. You know, the weapon that I earned as a pinnacle drop from Crucible hella seasons ago? Yeah, apparently they threw that into the loot pool. And I've literally gotten like 50 fucking Randy's throwing knives this season. So it kind of makes me wonder, right? What loot would I be getting had I paid for all the new yearly content, you know? What loot drops would I be getting, you know? And I'm not mad or anything, right? I'm just wondering because god damn, I have a fuck ton of Randys. And to be fair to Crucible, I have gotten like 4 or 5 exotic catalysts from the Crucible, but the only time that I seem to get those exotic catalysts are after those matches where I just got my ass dug the fuck out, you know? You know those games where you're getting your ass absolutely dug out, but your team's still doing well enough not to get mercied? Yeah, those games are the worst, right? And those seem to be the only games where I get the exotic catalyst. It's like, here you go, Remo. Here, please don't quit the game. And speaking of Crucible, like, what the fuck is with Crucible matchmaking? Because it seems like 25% of the time I have normal games where it's extremely competitive from start to finish, and you don't know what team is going to win. And then the other 75% of the time, I'm just getting thrown into these matches with the goddamn Destiny All-Stars and getting my ass absolutely dug out. And I know some people are going to be like, hey, it's just a skill issue, man. You just need to get good, right? Well, the thing is, if there's skill-based matchmaking, why the fuck are they putting me up against the Destiny starting five? Like, Titans are absolutely cracked right now, and it seems like every other game I'm going up against a squad of 4 Titan elites with fucking 2 hunters sprinkled in just for a little bit of spice. Like, the PvP in Destiny 2 makes the PvP in Destiny 1 look hilariously balanced. And the balancing issues are a whole nother can of worms. I just find it kind of ironic that Crucible is in the state it's in, and Bungie is developing a new dedicated PvP game in the form of Marathon. Like, I think Marathon is going to do extremely well, but at the same time, I just think it's fucked up that Bungie has abandoned Crucible the way they have, and they're expecting you to support their next project whenever it does come out. It just baffles me that anybody's supposed to be able to trust you with Marathon when Destiny, the game that you've been working on for 10 years plus, is in the worst state it's been in a long time. And I wonder what the monetization is going to look like in that game, especially considering the fact that Bungie is now owned by Sony. And it's funny that Bungie is now owned by Sony because Bungie is getting passed around like the village bitch. One has to wonder if Tencent will ever get a turn to ride that ass, but that's beside the point. What Bungie is hoping will happen with Marathon is Bungie is hoping that all the Destiny PvP YouTubers will jump ship and hop on Marathon, and by doing so, they will take their communities with them. And the fucked up part about it is I see a lot of Destiny tubers doing just that, because the thing is, a lot of these guys have cultivated a career off Destiny, so much so to the point where it's not actually about keeping up with Destiny, it's about keeping up with Bungie. So you better believe when Marathon comes out, a lot of these Destiny YouTubers will jump ship. They'll get flown out to Bungie's corporate offices, be like, oh, hey, have a good old time. And they'll get all the exclusive footage they want of Marathon, and they'll come back and drop video after video talking about how they really enjoyed themselves. And they won't tell you to buy the game, it'll just be implied in their content. And one has to wonder, is Bungie leaving Crucible in this state on purpose? That way, when Marathon comes out, maybe they're hoping a lot of players will jump ship from Destiny. That way they can hop on Marathon and experience a way more balanced PvP game. But you know, as bad as Destiny has become, I still think Destiny is a really great game in small doses. And also, I'm not hating on my fellow Destiny YouTubers. Not that I'm really a Destiny YouTuber. In fact, in terms of Destiny YouTubers, I would absolutely put Destiny PvP YouTubers as some of my favorite. Like channels like Cammy Cakes, Fallout Plays, and Cool Guy. Those guys are all S tier, as well as the lore YouTubers like Mylan Games, My Name is Bife. Hell, I'll even throw Darkside Royalty Lore in that bitch. Those guys are all S tier in my eyes, and I wish those guys nothing but success. But the other guys in the Destiny community, I really don't care for, because a lot of them come across as Bungie shills. And the thing is, a lot of these guys like to let Bungie fuck them in the ass. And if you're gonna let Bungie fuck you in the ass, then don't be surprised when Bungie wants to come on your face. This is Remo Yes Man, signing out. Peace.
This is the moment Iron Lords live for. The wolf's howl may be the last thing you hear. Light versus light. 2 down. The hunt has ended. That's 2. The flames have ignited. Let the wolves hunt. The flames have gone cold. Three minutes left. The fires are lit. Find your prey and end them. The flames have gone cold. That's 2. The fires are lit. Find your prey and end them. The howls are quiet. Return to the fight. 1 minute remains. They hear the howls and know fear. The howls are quiet. Return to the fight. You are in control. Show them what that means. 2 down. 30 seconds. The lead is yours. Guardian, crush them. The howls are quiet. Return to the fight. Well fought and well won. You are like a hero from the Dark Age. Keep fighting, and you will have Zavala's job someday.